The increase in winds prompts families to evacuate this park in time. Minutes later, tragedy befalls this playground as the destruction of its attractions is massive. In a matter of moments, this Asian town falls victim to a hurricane that lands with great force on its streets. Hurricane Michael made landfall in Panama in mid-October 2018. The camera in this car has recorded the moments when Michael severely strikes the city streets. Maximum winds of 260 kilometers per hour were recorded by the Meteorological Service. Lightning and thunder are captured at the exact moment by this young woman. It gave her quite a scare. What initially appeared to be a drizzle quickly turned into hours of rain and hurricane-force winds for these residents of Poland. The tornado threatens to take down this electrical tower. Fortunately, it veers away at the last moment. A highly tense moment for its inhabitants. About 20 miles south of Houston, Texas, this man records a massive storm hitting his property. All that's left is to be a spectator of the havoc Mother Nature can wreak. Seen from the windows of the houses, you can observe how the serenity of their streets transforms into a serious threat for their residents in mere moments. This camera has captured stunning moments of a storm battering this Brooklyn suburb.
It's wildest. Look. You gotta close that window now. Take this plant and take... Oh my god, look at that! Look at that! Look at that window. It's crazy. It is, it's scary.
High-speed winds effortlessly rip the roofs off houses.
Okay.
Reporting from a street being battered by a storm is a very risky job. Mother Nature highlights her ability to dislodge any object. This cabin has been caught in strong winds, posing a serious threat to its occupants who don't seem very comfortable.
They eventually were rescued and they were completely fine.
After long minutes of waiting and as the intensity of the winds subsided, they were eventually rescued. The eruption of this volcano may appear safe from a distance. However, the material it ejects is a serious threat due to its easy dispersal through the air. This man has chosen to wait out the storm from his car. It seems he doesn't have many options. His camera captures the force with which the storm besieges his vehicle. After severe tornadoes, it's likely that there will be electrical disruptions, leaving the community without power. An electrical storm that poses a serious threat to this neighborhood.
Holy moly! My God!
You thought this only happened in North America and Europe. Well, not quite. Uruguay fell victim to this hurricane. The typhoon is so massive that it has managed to uproot this tree. Truly astonishing. Seen from a city cafe, it presents a complete menace. Texas is threatened by a hailstorm. Large hailstones land on the ground at high speeds, posing a threat to its residents. The intensity is such that they end up making their way into the living rooms of houses. But as soon as you step outside, you encounter a hurricane raging through the streets of your city.
Las ventanas se menean. Un montón de debris. Como pueden ver los acá, con los vientos azotando esta área del hotel.
What starts as a light drizzle gradually transforms to the point where high-speed winds start to appear. It's serene if you're behind that window. These hurricane hunters have been caught in an intense hailstorm. The hailstones reach the size of baseballs and cause severe damage to the vehicles. After being seriously compromised, they decide to continue, but the outcome remains the same.
Madre mía. Y mira cómo ruge ahora, ¿eh? Madre mía, qué espectáculo.
Hurricane Ian has left the city of Florida completely devastated. Here's a glimpse of the moment and threats that this Category 4 hurricane brought with it. Upon touching down on the ground, this tornado wreaks havoc on hundreds of businesses. Complete chaos in the offices. This tornado poses a serious threat to this enthusiast. This man has decided to take his camera and record the back of his yard. The force with which these winds barrel into the trees is devastating, to the extent that they make them collapse. These winds threaten to be a significant danger. Minutes later, their intensities increase, accompanied by a barrage of debris. In southern Italy, on a small archipelago, the island of Stromboli, known for its volcanic activity, one of its volcanoes has erupted. Startled by the dense grey cloud, residents and tourists have hastily taken boats to escape the island. A cafe by the side of the road has become a refuge for people. Being in the middle of the street would have put them at risk of being blown away. A few trees have succumbed to the force of Mother Nature. The damage caused by this storm in northern Italy is evident. Roofs of houses have been torn off by high-speed hurricane winds. When you're angry with Mother Nature and decide to strike her, only to find that her strength is even greater. When water decides to speak, the havoc it wreaks on structures is of great significance. The collapse of this major roadway clearly underscores the respect that must be shown to Mother Nature. The rising waters of this mighty river put this massive structure, a large bridge, in a precarious position. The residents' respect is evident. None of them attempt to cross the bridge. The fear that the river may have undermined the bridge's supports is immense. These men were very relaxed when, surprisingly, a wave reaches them and throws them to the ground. It's quite a spectacle for a group of photographers capturing these unprecedented scenes through their lenses. The energy stored in that canal's water is so evident that it seeks ways to transform itself and emerge on the surface. This energy can easily be harnessed in a hydroelectric power plant. The floods in Arabia are ready to sweep away everything in their path, with vehicles being their primary victims. You're peacefully traveling in a boat, when suddenly the waves change, and you're taken by surprise as the water splashes in.
Got it. Yeah.
Everything appears normal at home while outside. There's a silent neighbor waiting for the opportune moment to make itself known. Water. Heavy rains in Texas have led to the collapse of this bridge. It's evident the immense power Mother Nature possesses to destroy everything in her path. This woman was a bit slow and was swept away by the force of the water, reminding us of the need to respect nature. Mother Nature is determined to give tourists a pleasant surprise.
Oh, she's going.
And one must certainly admire the resilience of that wall. This water was indeed a nuisance for the miners, and the best way to deal with it was by dynamiting it. If you find yourself in the midst of a flood, here's a quick guide to escape this threat. Start by lowering the window before the water pressure traps it. If it's already stuck, you can use the headrest to break the window. Exit through the window and climb onto the roof. From there, you can use your mobile phone or await assistance from rescue teams.
Now you want to use anything you can to climb up to get on top of this. I'm going to put my feet on the seat. I'm going to climb out onto this roof. If you do still have your phone on you, now is the time to call 911.
The floods lead to the complete collapse of the community. Indeed, underground stations are the ideal places where water is deposited. Many companies have the idea of building or discovering mines beneath the lake beds, regardless of the damage this may cause to ecosystems and inhabitants. Even though the drivers still want to continue transporting passengers, posing an imminent danger to those living along the canal banks. The major floods in Japan have led to rescue agencies carrying out their work from the air. A significant number of houses have transitioned from being structures to floating entities, relocating to new foundations. As you can see, the amount of water released from the mountains and reservoirs can be seen in the city in this way. The canals have become overcrowded and can't hold a drop more of water. And when the water pouring into bodies of water is excessive, reservoirs must release the surplus, which will also wreak havoc downstream. Hurricane Ida has hit the train stations in the United States. Despite this, some passengers are eagerly waiting for the service to resume. Being on a pier might seem like a great recreational activity. However, it doesn't seem like a good idea when the water is a bit rough. These people consider it an extreme sport that they pursue with great passion. The risk of building a house by the river is that most people underestimate the return periods. And when major floods arrive, they end up with severe damage like this due to erosion. The doors and windows of this hospital have endured the region's rain for several days. Finally, their resilience is overcome, and they are easily destroyed by the power of the water. These tourists seem to be quite fascinated by the dangerous waves approaching the coast. The force with which they come could easily drag any human body back into the ocean. These vehicles and people remain calm, which will soon be disrupted by a massive wave from the ocean. A devastating typhoon has reached the shores of the Philippines. It destroys everything in its path, regardless of how complex the structures are. When the water in the ocean is disturbed, not even the containment walls can stop it. Waves easily surpass these defenses and sweep away everything in their path. This driver has decided to park his bus. However, the water level and strength are noticeable. When the rain significantly increased in India, astonishing events occurred. A bus was swept away by the river's force. Fortunately, it was unoccupied. An incredible controlled explosion over this lake causes a small tsunami in it. These explosions are man-made, and most of them serve constructive purposes. However, they can have serious repercussions on the ecosystem.